waiting too long, baby. Shut up, baby, love. Go back on my door. I should probably get it, Babo. Shut up, baby, love. If you want it, don't forget about it, baby.
See me, what about me? I'm serious. Madura see me love, my papa got me love. Make I come back home, give plenty money. Madura for me oh.
Yeah, I'm a bailo. I like you a bailo. Make you remember.
See me,
like you on the way from.
I want to. Do you know what you're doing, baby? Me.
Oh my love, tell me.
Oh my boy, oh my boy,
Don't keep me waiting too long, baby.
turn up on one boy, see you.
Come on, oh my love. What you want with that thing, Babo?
If I go there, don't forget about it, mama, baby.
NTA brings you the best of entertainment.
I thought I was being sarcastic. I wanted to get a production
And everything music.
what to which one to see.
Nothing they hot the very we have one of those
You feel it?
then you just a little I know it's this.
Sure, they are already washed.
It is all a mindset.
To a president.
What else can I do with a shower and dance? Watch these programs and more on NTA Entertainment Channel 105 on Star Times. NTAE, the one-stop entertainment channel.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News Mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the U Report link. And be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information. network service of the NTA.
Is a mustard seed, then nurture it, water it, grow it into that tree in your rainforest. We will be highlighting one of the prevalent social issues in our society. That we love and trust, and by people that are strangers. My papa. Sorry. Just was as sorry. My dear, we are going to talk. This is a job. A lot has been said about female genital mutilation. Now, this is a topic that is very close to my heart as a woman and as a human. I am not just here to spew statistics. I'm not just here to define female genital mutilation. I'm going to talk about it from a social, from a cultural, and from a psychosexual standpoint. When I say psychosexual, I am talking about the women who have been affected and how it has hurt their sexuality and their psychological state. Stay tuned as we delve deeper. So welcome to Our Reality with Sky. On today's episode, we'll be highlighting a prevalent social issue, female genital mutilation. The word in itself, mutilation, is indicative of the fact that it is a violation of a lady's human right. The word connotes something negative. It is defacement, it is disfiguration, it is damage. So what is female genital mutilation? A lot of people misrepresent it as female circumcision. It is not that. It is female genital cutting. It is the ritualistic cutting or the removal of the external genitalia of a female. Now I have horror stories for you. So Ahizua is a 24-year-old female who does not want to think about her monthly menstrual cycle. She is a woman who is terrified of those cramps and is perpetually on ovulation tablets so that it stops her menstrual cycle. Now let's talk about Chidima. Chidima does not want to get married. She knows that sexual intimacy is an ordeal and she has, according to her, nothing to offer her husband in the bedroom. And so she has relegated to the fact that she is not going to get married. Now I want to talk about female genital mutilation because it was banned in 2015 and Nigeria has a high incidence of this as a result of our population. We are dealing with this issue because health surveys tell us that 24% of Nigerian girls and women aged 15 and 49 have been circumcised. In the southeast, about 45 cases of female genital mutilation have been seen. In the southwest, we have 55%. Osun State has the highest incidence of FGM with 76.6%. Ebonyi comes next with 74%. Ekiti State 72.3%. Imo State 68%. And Oyo with 65.6%. And this is something that has been abolished since 2015. Are the ladies not listening? Are the families not hearing what is going on? So these are my words. But this is Bimbo's story. My name is Bimbo, and I was a girl who loved to play. I would run amok on the dirt roads. I enjoyed the free effects of the wind against my ears. I would close my eyes and open them only to discover I had outrun everyone, even the boys. Age 14 ushered in my puberty. As my body changed, somehow I coped until the day I was cut. I screamed, I struggled. They steadied me. Auntie held my left leg down. The other woman knelt on the right one. Mama could not watch. It looked like a knife, the small one for cutting okra, but I am not sure. She sharpened it on the floor next to Mama's pot of soup. That was all before it started. After the old woman cowered between my spread legs. I do not remember anymore. Simply said I passed out as tears were streaming down my face. I tried to pull the lady's scarf, and then my hands too were paralyzed. But it is over. It is over now. I don't like anyone touching me or even speaking to me. I prefer to be on my own. I need the privacy for the itching down there. I have grown accustomed to the pain. On the wedding night, the chair said, he understands, but I wonder for how long. My name is Bimbo, and I was cut. So why female genital mutilation? There are cultural and societal reasons. FGM is carried out in a bid to control a woman's sexuality, which is sometimes said to be insatiable if parts of the genitalia or all of it, the external part, is not removed. Now, who are you to play God? Who are you to say that you are cultivating a woman's appetite for her man? According to people who perpetuate this evil, they say that the woman will not bed hop. The perception of FGM ensures, according to these people, virginity prior to marriage and, of course, post-marriage. I pose this question to you. Are we playing God? These aunties, these grandmas, these mothers that are so quick to cut a woman. What are you doing? What studies have proven that the sexual appetite for a woman reduces after she has been cut? My mom just came to my door knocking. Say, Stella, come outside, come and see something. I said, Mommy, what is it, man? Say, come. They call me inside the bathroom. I saw so many people inside the bathroom. I was very surprised. I said, Mama, these are flowers I'm coming for me.
You can't tell me, say, since when the time you say nothing else concern me that day, nothing said I'm joke. I saw my bed, which she has prepared it, wet bed sheets, everything wet. The woman, this circumcised me, also wear wet, the white hand glove on his hand. They say I should sleep and pull up my clothes. He said if you refuse to lie down, we force you to lie down. So my dad bring some rope and tied me. It's one fat, mighty woman that will sit on your chest. Then they place one for now so that people know the real, so they won't circumcise. So the nurse will not bring one small kitchen knife, one short one like this. So that is what she used to cut up the people. Collected a razor blade from my sister and circumcised me. My sister will use call me and the two will pay me. So I beat down until I cry with them so they come call me. As I was fighting, nearly the half of the vacuum side fell down since I was struggling with the woman. And I cut like into them. I will cut me and bleed them. Then they were circumcising me. When I was going through the pains, my mother was there looking at me and I was looking at her. I asked my nephew, I waiting me in Kobe. He said, "Mother, culture." I said, "Mama, cut." What just came inside my mind, I said, "May God forgive my parents because they don't know what they are doing." My mother told me, "Sir, when they circumcised you, not to without your pain. How can they remove this part from my body?" He said, "It's tradition." Which type of tradition? That night, all of them didn't sleep because I was crying the whole of that night. Clips of these ladies telling their tales of war emphasizes how almost deadly this thing can be. I will go over the types of FGM, the types of female genital mutilation, and break it down to you and give you a vivid idea of how horrifying this thing is. So there are 4 types of female genital mutilation. The first one I want to consider is infibulation. And that is, cutting off of the clitoris, the surgical removal of the external genitalia, and suturing of the vulva. As I talk about this, I get mental pictures of the cutting. If you ever watched it being done, on a video or something, it is crude, it is unhuman, it is inhumane, it is unnecessary. The second type of female genital mutilation is the removal of the clitoris partially or totally. The third type is the removal of the clit and the labia minora or the labia majora. So they can remove the clit as well as this labia, the first one, the minora, and or the second one, the labia majora. Now, other types fall under the fourth kind of female genital mutilation, where there's pricking, there's piercing, there's incising, there is scraping. You will not begin to imagine what a woman in her puberty years would have to endure to go through this kind of thing. And I'll have you know, sometimes these surgical tools are unsanitary, they are huge, oh my God. We'll take a break as I recollect my thoughts and myself, lest I get emotional on camera. So I am Ray. I'm originally from Somalia. Growing up in Somalia, no one ever talked about it. I heard rumors that, my classmates were calling me the girl with 3 legs. They wouldn't play with me. They said I was untouchable somehow. I asked questions to my mom, why are they calling me the girl with 3 legs? She said, well, it's time to get your gift. And I didn't understand what kind of a gift, so I thought it was a dress. Early in the morning, we stopped in this house. It was a long and dark hallway. I'll never forget that. I can't explain, but you just feel something is not right. I asked my mom, where are you taking me? And she said, it's your time to become a woman. And I just ran away, and the last thing I remember was just a hand grabbing my neck and pulling me back. I woke up tied to a surgical table. I remember those rough fingers pulling things in place that no one ever touched me before, especially a man. I was brought back home, and it was a festivity with my family and my classmates and my relatives were all there to welcome me and say, oh, we're proud of you. Today you became a woman. And you have to remember they have to tie your legs together for 14 days. Within 4 hours, you have to use the bathroom somehow. I refused because I felt like this is the only control I have my body. Most women survivors who had this never questioned, why are we doing this? I remember my own pain when this happened to me. Why are we continuing this? The clothes is seen as like my penis, unclean, improper. Somehow it's uncontrollable for women's urges, so they will be running after men. If I don't take my child to perform this and have this done, I'm not being a good mother to prepare my child. I tried to heal myself, but how can you heal here? So I said the better thing I could do is just to speak up. I came here and made a documentary about this issue to help refugees who are coming here, show the world how horrible this act is and that the world should come and hold our hands to help us end it. Change what happened to me from someone else. That's what survival means. Imagine what other women are going through. All the survivors out there, and it's estimated that 200 million of girls and women alive today have been subjected to FGM. Alarmingly, these rates are going up, and of course, these girls live here in sub-Saharan Africa. And then the populations in Europe and North America and Australia and New Zealand that are migrant are still there cutting their children. When is this going to stop? Maybe talking about the health implications of this will dissuade you women, you grandmothers, you aunties from doing this barbaric act. Let's take the first implication, the health implication of this. Of course, loss of blood. I recently heard a story of an infant child who was a few days old. She was cut and she bled to death. That is an offense that should be criminal in nature because it is premeditated murder. The
wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, as mother of the nation, shares her time with other women in the spirit of oneness. On this occasion of breaking of fast, the wife of the president gives advice to aspiring women in politics to start from the grassroots, where greater impact would be made in having a better society. even now that the 2019 election is approaching and the president assenting to not too young to run bill.
Councillorship, chairperson, commissioner, State House of Assembly, that's where it matters, because all our strengths are at the local government level. And unless we develop the communities, we're just wasting our time.
We all share a common bond, she says, and that is to strengthen unity and harmony in Nigeria.
All of us as mothers and opinion leaders to continue advocating for peaceful coexistence, especially among our youth who are being used negatively in the society. The unity and stability of this country cannot be compromised.
Mrs. Buhari unanimously got the support of the women, with some of them volunteering to join a non-governmental organization, The Future Assured.
So my request is that we do not waste this time, we do not waste these opportunities, and every time we are called upon, let us work for the good of all.
We want to thank you for the good work you've been doing in the lives of women. If you look at the rate of our children now, how they are involved in this drug habit, is on the increase. And it is the work of the women. We have a lot of work to do on our children.
Having to give your body for marks, I think is something that the campaign that the First Lady is championing, and she's very much interested in. I want to enjoin all of us to look into these things. Sex in the office. We need to work with Her Excellency, because she herself has done so much for women, but she can't do it all alone, so we need to cooperate with her. And we want to vote for the president next year and soon in office again. So we want to be safe first and foremost.
The women, who are from various backgrounds such as politics, media, economy, non-governmental organizations, the civil society, and religious groups, commended wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, for organizing the iftar.
Allahu Akbar.
From the banquet hall of the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
You're watching the news on NTA International, reaching you from Abuja. The news continues in just a moment after the break. Don't go away.
International news. Africa as it is.
The presidency has released a fact sheet outlining the policy and achievements of the Buhari administration for the past 3 years. A statement signed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, on the 41-page document highlights successes in the economy, security, and the fight against corruption, which form the 3 priorities of President Buhari's change agenda.
It is organized into the following sections: resetting the economy, restoring growth, growing what we eat, making business work, doing more with less, investing in people, new vision for the Niger Delta, plugging leakages, and justice reforms. The fact sheet, which will be updated regularly, showcases improving economic indices, rising investments in agriculture and infrastructure, successes in the fight against terrorism, and ongoing efforts to improve security in the northeast. In addition, it lists the several measures taken to promote transparency and accountability in government finances. Highlights of the fact sheet include the following. Nigeria's economy is back on the path of growth after the recession of 2016-17, with 1.95% growth in Q1 of 2018. The Buhari administration's priority sectors of agriculture and solid minerals maintained consistent growth throughout the recession. Inflation has fallen for the 15th consecutive month from 18.7% in January 2017 to 12.5% as of April 2018. External reserves of $47.5 billion are the highest in 5 years and double the size as of October 2016. Total exports in 2017 were 59.47% higher than for 2016. The first quarter of 2018 saw the fourth consecutive quarterly increase in capital importation since quarter 2 of 2017. The total value of capital imported in the quarter stood at $6.3 billion, which is a year-on-year increase of 594.03% and a 17.11% growth over the figure reported in the previous quarter. The new FX window introduced by the CBN in April 2017 now sees an average of $1 billion in weekly turnover and has attracted about $25 billion in inflows in its first year and a total turnover of $47.14 billion, signaling rising investor confidence in Nigeria. Nigeria's stock market ended 2017 as one of the best performing in the world, with returns in excess of 40%. 5 million new taxpayers added to the tax base since 2016 as part of efforts to diversify government's revenues. Tax revenue increased to 1.17 trillion naira in quarter 1 of 2018, a 51% increase on the quarter 1 2017 figure. 2.7 trillion naira spent on infrastructure in 2016 and 2017 fiscal years, an unprecedented allocation in Nigeria's recent history. 14 moribund blending plants revitalized so far under the Fertilizer Initiative, PFI, with a total capacity of 2.3 million metric tons of NPK fertilizer. In May 2018, the federal government launched the Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund, PIDF, under the management of the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority. The PIDF is kicking off with seed funding of $1.3 billion. Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority, NSIA, in March 2018 invested $10 million to establish a world-class cancer treatment center at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, LUTH, and $5 million each in the Aminu Kano University Teaching Hospital and the Federal Medical Center, Umahia, to establish modern diagnostic centers. These centers should be completed before the end of 2018. The Buhari administration issued a 100 billion naira sukuk bond in 2017, Nigeria's first sovereign sukuk bond. Proceeds from that bond are funding 25 major road projects across the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria. The complete
Nigeria's efforts at checking the illegal trade in endangered species have been commended by the Secretariat of the Common Convention of Wild Flora and Fauna, Geneva. Representatives from the Secretariat were led by the Minister of State for Environment, Ibrahim Usman Jibrin, to inspect Nigeria's facilities and procedures for checking illicit trade. Jennifer Igwe reports.
These containers are loaded with certified wood, ready for export from Apapa ports. Representatives from the Secretariat of the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, CITES, in Geneva, checked on some of the containers to ascertain that they are not among those upon which there is an international ban, and they were obviously satisfied.
I saw a lot of commitment, a lot of capacity, so they need to enhance cooperation.
The Nigeria Customs Service, however, reported that they have intercepted some other flawed consignment as part of Nigeria's efforts to check illegal trade in endangered species. Pangolin scales, ivory dust, and skin of reptiles that have been seized worth billions of dollars. Guankara's Chief Legal Compliance Officer from CITES has been involved in tackling this crime for 20 years now. He estimates the worth of these illegally exported species.
1 kilo of rhino horn could be more than $50,000, which is more expensive than gold and cocaine.
These seizures is a collaboration between the Customs and the Ministry of Environment.
There is a need for collaboration globally, so we came around to show them that we have nothing to hide, to show them that we are adopting best practices, to show them that our custom men are equal to the task of the forestry Ministry of Environment are represented in the port. Customs are there. Then you have the service providers, inspection service providers who inspect the export.
Illegal trade in flora and fauna, the United Nations say, represents the most evident environmental crime involving wildlife, plants, and other endangered native species. In Lagos, Jennifer Igwe, NTA News.
And talking food security now, the World Bank says it has recognized the improvement in agricultural productivity in Nigeria with a pledge to support the country in her diversification drive. The World Bank team inspecting the country's success story in areas of rice, cassava, sorghum and tomatoes described smallholder farmers as key to food security. Musa Baba Aliyu has an update on the World Bank's team's visit to Sokoto State.
Sokoto State is among the 23 states that are currently participating in the World Bank multi-billion naira project under FADAMA 3 additional financing. The aim of the program is to upscale agricultural productivity and uplift the socioeconomic status of smallholder farmers in the rural areas.
There were cooking in the area of import substitution. They were cooking in the area of reviving our industries. And when we do this, we are definitely going to create more jobs for our people. Actually, got a lot of returns.
While interacting with the farmers in almost all the local government areas of the state, the World Bank team observed that farmers in Sokoto, like other participating states, have increased growth in rice and sorghum production.
They provide us with lectures to at least enable us how to make a modern plantation or farming.
We are able to do credibly well in terms of increasing yield, increase in income, and also in terms of satisfaction and utilization of assets by the beneficiaries.
Sokoto State government says it has put measures in place towards ensuring sustainability of the project when the World Bank withdraws. From Sokoto, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Classified as critical infrastructure, bridges are structures built to span physical obstacle for the purpose of providing passage over it. Works and Housing correspondent examines the efforts by the Buhari administration to provide such structures and maintain the existing ones.
The Niger Bridge was built in 1965. Until date, it remains not only crucial, but the only link between the south and western Nigeria. Due to enhanced economic activities, the 50-year-old bridge endures excessive axle load and immense traffic congestion every day, which makes constant maintenance very important. Reinforcement work on the structure, which started in 2013, was however affected by inadequate funding until the coming of the Buhari administration, which shows total commitment to ensuring that the only link between the south and western Nigeria is fully and firmly secured. To complement the existing Niger Bridge as well as extend its lifespan, contract for the construction of a 1.59-kilometer second Niger Bridge was awarded in 2013 under the private-public partnership arrangement. Work on the project started in March 2014, but the private-public partnership arrangement had to be abandoned by the Buhari administration for direct funding by government to ensure commitment to the all-important structure. So far, preliminary works have reached 87% completion. Also incorporated in the early works contract is the construction of two approach roads from the Asaba and Onitsha sides. The Asaba Link Road is 2.8 kilometers, while the Onitsha Road is 7 kilometers. The second Niger Bridge project employs more than 400 indigenes, both skilled and unskilled workers. Built in 1986, the second Tamburawa Bridge in Dawakin Kudu local government area of Kano State is the only link between Kano City and other states on the eastern route. All these years, the bridge has been serving both human and vehicular movement. However, high economic and social activities as well as illegal mining and excavation under it have continued to pose serious threat to the life of these important bridge. To avert this catastrophe, the federal government awarded contract for securing the bridge through reinforcement of its pillars and embankment. Both Kano State Government and the Kano Emirate Council are supporting the federal government in securing the bridge through banning all human activities likely to affect the bridge negatively. The third mainland bridge, Lagos, was opened in 1990 and it is the longest of the three bridges connecting Lagos Island to the mainland. Being an essential part of daily commuting in Lagos, the third mainland bridge requires constant maintenance. So, after observing some cracks and maintenance work urgently needed on the bridge, the Buhari administration at a Federal Executive Council meeting approved the sum of 19 billion naira for repairs on the structure. In the first phase of the repair work, 33 piles are to be replaced and a total of 177 piles to be strengthened. Assessment of the expansion joints of the bridge and replacement of worn-out ones also to be carried out. Another economically important critical infrastructure the Buhari administration has shown commitment to completing is the local Weto Bridge. The project consists of construction of a 1,970 meters long bridge across River Benue and 22.40 kilometers of approach roads to link Loko in Nasarawa State to Oweto in Benue State. Work on the project, suspended by the contractor since June 2011 over non-payment of certified works, fully resumed in June 2016 after he was remobilized by the Muhammad Buhari-led administration. And now backed by the Sukuk bond, the contractors say the completion time of December 2018 is feasible. The Bodo-Boni Bridge and Dual Carriageway project is perhaps one of the most important but most neglected projects in the whole of South-South zone of Nigeria. The project was first awarded in 1998 but could not take off at that time due to infighting and other hostilities among the host communities. It was then re-awarded in 2002 and work commenced in 2003. But finally abandoned by the contractor at about 20% completion. The contract was eventually determined and terminated, then re-awarded in 2014. But even the new contractor could not mobilize to site due to non-payment. The project consists of construction of a single-lane carriageway from Bodo in Edo State to the gas-producing center of Bonny Island in Rivers State, including the construction of 3 bridges across the creeks of Afa, Opobo, and Nanabie. Muhammad Hamza Sheikh, NTA News.
And some federal intervention projects embarked upon by the Buhari administration in the Northwest have now been completed and put into use. One of such is the abandoned Usman Danfodio University Road in Sokoto, where rehabilitation commenced in March this year and now fully completed. In this report, Abdulrahman Usman Jibrila takes a look at the progress of work on the various intervention projects in Sokoto, Kebbi, and Zamfara states.
The road project, which commenced in March this year, has been completed even before the 3 months expected completion period. Motorists and other road users were seen plying the road after almost 8 years of untold hardship due to the bad condition of the road.
It's easier for you to get to your lecture fast without all the hurdles.
The road has been refurbished completely. The bridges have been put in place. We are indeed very, very grateful to the government.
Other federal government interventions in the road projects across the zone are the Sokoto-Jega-Yawuri linking Kontagora in Niger State, Sokoto-Gusau-Funtua Highway, as well as the ongoing reconstruction of 2 major bridges along the Sokoto-Gusau Road and that of Keri in Kebbi State, have all reached an appreciable stage of completion. The Keri Bridge, which nearly collapsed some years ago, diverting traffic to avoid major accidents.
It enhanced the economic activities of the state. From Sokoto of Lagos.
Efforts of the present administration to revive the railway system is also visible in Zamfara State, with the resuscitation of the cattle train services from Gusau to Lagos, which has been suspended for more than 30 years. The intervention of the federal government in the power sector has improved power supply across the zone, thereby boosting activities of small business operators.
The recent of 2 years now, they are making use of the standard electricity now.
The National Housing Scheme project of the Buhari administration is also an intervention that has touched the lives of people of Sokoto, Kebbi and Zamfara states, with each having 80 housing units of 3, 2 and 1 semi-detached bungalows already completed, with the second phase about to commence. In Sokoto, NTA News.
Also, Kaduna, Jigawa and Kano states are having a fair share of the massive infrastructural development being provided by the present administration. Hamani Jabani has the insight.
Under the construction in Kaduna State, there are 12 major ongoing projects across the state covering over 1,500 kilometers with a total cost of over 250 billion naira.
Some of the contractors have done well, some we are just encouraging them to do better. The provision of road is one of the basic social responsibility of government, and it is one that enhances the economic development of any society.
Under the National Housing Program, 80 housing units comprising 24 blocks of 2 bedrooms, 16 blocks of 3 bedrooms, and 2 blocks of 1 bedroom semi-detached are under construction in Kaduna.
It is going to address the housing deficit in the country.
And with the fast-growing population of the state, the federal government, through the Transmission Company of Nigeria, has installed 150 MVA transformers in Mando Station, 260 MVA transformers at Power Station, line expansion and new transformer inaugurated recently in Zaria, in addition to 5 more power stations to be constructed across the state. From Kano, Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports that the 74.1 kilometer Kano-Katsina road dualization has since commenced under Sukuk funding. Kano Maiduguri is ongoing with appreciable percentage despite the slow pace of project.
The work is in progress actually. The federal government has gone to an extent to source for additional funding.
Another critical infrastructure that is receiving federal government intervention is mass housing. These are semi-detached completed at Voromisau, while some are under construction.
It's a populist program.
From Jigawa, Habib Hussein reports that federal projects being executed across the 3 senatorial zones of the state are either at completion stage or significant level of execution. Notable among them is the dualization of Kano-Maiduguri Road, which cut across 3 local government areas of the state, connecting Bauchi, Yobe and Borno states. This is in addition to Hadeja Nguru and Kano Hunkuri to do a dualization project.
It's going to open up more lands for development.
The state is also benefiting from the National Housing Project, with 74 housing projects at 97% completion stage. The Minister of Works, Housing and Power, Babatunde Raji Fashola, attests to the federal government commitment to these projects while on inspection tour recently to the state.
I'm happy with what I am seeing here. There's work to be done. We see progress, and they say that they should complete this section by August.
Jigawa is also benefiting to other infrastructure growth as federal structures such as Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) is ready for inauguration. While President Muhammad Buhari has launched a massive irrigation scheme spanning over 6,000 hectares of Fadama land. Added to this is the power expansion program in Dutse, the state capital, and Nguru Hadeja, as well as Kazewuru integrated water scheme, all to the advantage of the people of the state. Hamad Jabani.
Yes, Haman Jabani there reporting. And in Edo State, federal government intervention in road infrastructure has continued to have huge impact on the socio-economic life of the people. Ogochukwuga Ona is ready with details.
The federal government in 2012 awarded the Section 2 of the Benin-Okene-Abuja Highway from Obajama Junction to Ewu Hill. Work slowed down for a while but was reinforced last year by the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, which gave out the Sukuk bond loan to the contractors to speed up work. This move has led to the completion of 13 kilometers of the Sukuk-funded section from Auchi through Jetu, Elele, Iyamo, Ugbedo, Irolo to Iloke, with first asphalts and curbs already laid.
I so much appreciate the Buhari administration. The way they do and they go now, if you do and the road is very fine. They get some part where they do, where they get some places where they never touch at all. And the government, they are trying.
When completed, the various adjoining communities will be impacted through a boost to the economic activities and reduction in accident rates.
The middle that is linking the north and the south together.
Similarly, the Owu slope axis of the Benin-Auchi Highway, notorious for accidents, is receiving attention also under the Sukuk Federal Road Intervention Initiative. The old hilly lane has been leveled to pave way for a new dual carriageway. In the same vein, the 80 kilometers Uromi-Agbo Road is progressing steadily with realization work advancing from Eldonu axis to Uromi down to Agbo in Delta State. Key players in the area say when completed, it will change the face of commercial activities in the benefiting communities.
I can say between 5, 4, 3.5 years now, that road was very, very bad.
Uromi being a commercial place, those who are traders, so that gives them easy access to the large market in Onitsha, unlike the stress they used to go through passing through Asaba.
Other areas of intervention include the Northern Ishan water projects recently handed over to the Edo State government by the federal government. In Benin, Ogochkuka Ona, NTA News.
You're watching the news on NTA International, reaching you from Abuja. We'll be back with more reports after the break. Don't go away.
International news. Africa as it is.
Correspondent on special assignment reports on successful 4-hour medical operation on a co-joint twins and Yola. The report.
4-month-old Fatima and Mariam, who are now undergoing treatment and recovery process after a successful 4-hour separation surgery, were found to be conjoined at birth in Maiduguri and brought to the Federal Medical Center Yola, Adamawa State, prior to the operation on the 25th of March 2018. The Medical Director of Federal Medical Center Yola, Professor Awal Muhammad Abubakar, who is also a pediatric surgeon, led a team of medical experts who successfully separated the conjoined twins on the 14th May 2018. At a press briefing in Yola, the Medical Director, Professor Awal Abubakar, says the separation of the conjoined twins is another milestone in FMC Yola and the nation at large. Nigeria, he added, has the potentials and qualified medical personnel to compete globally if given the necessary support. According to the Chief Surgeon, Professor Awal Abubakar, this particular case, omphalopagus joined at the upper abdomen from the lower chest to the level of the navel, is a rare case that occurs once in every 150 to 200,000 births annually.
Even the team was surprised by the rapidity of their recovery, because we are not thinking they will leave the ICU in 2 days. We think in 2 weeks' time, if there are no problems, they will be able to go home. Not expecting that they will have any problem. Feeding, they are expressing breast milk and also artificial feeds. You know, their mouths are separate. And when we investigated too, the intestines were not conjoined. So even if the intestines were conjoined, it won't be a problem.
Parents of the separated twins, Muhammad Ramat and Kellu Adams, who were overwhelmed with the new status of their children, expressed optimism that the surgery was going to be successful and appreciated FMC Yola management and those who contributed for their magnanimity.
Yes, I'm happy for the hospital, the fight for my children's lives, and so yes,
Separating conjoined twins is usually complex and expensive due to the demand of the entire team of surgeons, a case which is not affordable to many who find themselves in the situation. However, for Fatima and Mariam, fate smiled at them when the FMC Yola management took it as a community service and social responsibility to carry out the separation surgery of the twin girls free of charge. This milestone is the second of its kind at the FMC Yola. The first similar breakthrough was in 2014 when Aisha, a four-legged baby, had a successful separation with Professor Dr. Awal Muhammad Abubakar as the lead surgeon.
A very big feat there, the story of the successful separation of a conjoined set of twins in Yola, Nigeria. Now Lydia Sampson is standing by to take us through the activities of women in the Ramadan fast and how they cope.
Ramadan is the holiest month in the Islamic calendar. It is a spiritual and festive season for Muslims around the world. It is therefore a month when women are rigorously engaged in house chores in Nigeria with the preparations of meals to be eaten at dawn, that is sahur, and for the breaking of the fast in the evening, iftar, among others. It is another iftar, and the Muslim faithfuls are breaking their fast. It looks like a feast in view of different dishes adorning the table or the mat, as the case may be. Fatima Adam, a mother and wife, says besides participating in the fast, prayer and recitation of the Holy Quran, which are some of the characteristics of Ramadan fast, Muslim women matrimonial duties increase in terms of preparation for breaking of fast. Waking up very early daily can be demanding, but Fatima, like other Muslim women, is simply happy to be alive, to partake in another annual spiritual devotion and contribute to the success of the exercise in the life of their family members.
Go extra mile to cook extra delicacy so that people who have stayed the whole day without food can have a good meal.
Who are struggling.
We are live at NTA2 studio, preparing for Ramadan time. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, 1, 2. Testing the microphone. A few minutes time, we will commence the live workout of Ramadan diet. Stay tuned. Testing the microphone. Hello, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing the microphone. Hello, 1, 2. 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 Hello, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2. Testing the microphone. Hallelujah. 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 Testing the microphone. Hello, 1 2. Hello, 1 2. Testing the microphone. Hallelujah. 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 Testing the microphone. Hello, 1 2. 1 2 3 4. Hello, 1 2. Hello, 1 2. Testing the microphone. Hello, 1 2 3. Hello, 1 2 3. Hello, 1 2. Testing the microphone. Hello, 1 2 3. Hello, 1 2. Testing the microphone. Hello, 1 2 3. Hello, 1 2 3. Testing the microphone. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Testing the microphone. Time now. Hallelujah. 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 Testing the microphone. Hallelujah. 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 Testing the microphone. In less than 5 minutes time, go live. Stay tuned. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
البصائر من ربكم فمن أبصر فلنفسه ومن عمي فعليها وما أنا عليكم بحفيظ وكذلك نصرف الآيات وليقولوا درست ولنبينه لقوم يعلمون اتبع ما أوحي إليك من ربك لا إله إلا هو وأعرض عن المشركين ولو شاء الله ما أشركوا وما جعلناك عليهم حفيظا وما أنت عليهم بوكيل ولا تسبوا الذين يدعون من دون الله فيسبوا الله عدوا بغير علم كذلك زينا لكل أمة عملهم ثم إلى ربهم مرجعهم فينبئهم بما كانوا يعملون وأقسموا بالله جهد أيمانهم لئن جاءتهم آية ليؤمنن بها قل إنما الآيات عند الله وما يشعركم أنها إذا جاءت لا يؤمنون ونقلب أفئدتهم وأبصارهم كما لم يؤمنوا به أول مرة ونذرهم في طغيانهم يعمهون الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده ربنا ولك الحمد الله أكبر 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 الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين ولو أننا نزلنا إليهم الملائكة وكلمهم الموتى وحشرنا عليهم كل شيء قبلا ما كانوا ليؤمنوا إلا أن يشاء الله ولكن أكثرهم يجهلون وكذلك جعلنا لكل نبي عدوا شياطين الإنس والجن يوحي بعضهم إلى بعض زخرف القول غرورا ولو شاء ربك ما فعلوه فذرهم وما يفترون ولتصغى إليه أفئدة الذين لا يؤمنون السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله الله أكبر الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. ولا تأكلوا مما لم يذكر اسم الله عليه وإنه لفسق وإن الشياطين ليوحون إلى أوليائهم ليجادلوكم وإن أطعتموهم إنكم لمشركون. أومن كان ميتا فأحييناه وجعلنا له نورا يمشي به في الناس كمن مثله في الظلمات ليس بخارج منها كذلك زين للكافرين ما كانوا يعملون. وكذلك جعلنا في كل قرية أكابر مجرميها ليمكروا فيها وما يمكرون إلا بأنفسهم وما يشعرون. وإذا جاءتهم آية قالوا لن نؤمن حتى نؤتى مثل ما أوتي رسل الله أعلم حيث يجعل رسالته سيصيب الذين أجرموا صغار عند الله وعذاب شديد بما كانوا يمكرون. فمن يرد الله أن يهديه يشرح صدره للإسلام ومن يرد أن يضله يجعل صدره ضيقا حرجا كأنما يصعد في السماء كذلك يجعل الله الرجس على الذين لا يؤمنون. وهذا صراط ربك مستقيما قد فصلنا الآيات لقوم يذكرون. لهم دار السلام عند ربهم وهو وليهم بما كانوا يعملون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده.
ربنا ولك الحمد. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. ويوم يحشرهم جميعا يا معشر الجن قد استكثرتم من الإنس وقال أولياؤهم من الإنس ربنا استمتع بعضنا ببعض وبلغنا أجلنا الذي أجلت لنا قال النار مثواكم خالدين فيها إلا ما شاء الله إن ربك حكيم عليم. وكذلك نولي بعض الظالمين بعضا بما كانوا يكسبون. يا معشر الجن والإنس ألم يأتكم رسل منكم يقصون عليكم آياتي وينذرونكم لقاء يومكم هذا قالوا شهدنا على أنفسنا وغرتهم الحياة الدنيا وشهدوا على أنفسهم أنهم كانوا كافرين ذلك أن لم يكن ربك مهلك القرى بظلم وأهلها غافلون ولكل درجات مما عملوا وما ربك بغافل عما يعملون وربك الغني ذو الرحمة إن يشأ يذهبكم ويستخلف من بعدكم ما يشاء كما أنشأكم الدار إنه لا يفلح الظالمون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. ربنا ولك الحمد. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم.
My name is Jim Al-Khalili, and I'm a professor of physics at the University of Surrey. Studying the innermost secrets of atoms and their nuclei has been at the heart of my working life. But there's another side to me. I was born and grew up in Baghdad to an English mother and Iraqi father, but left Iraq with my family in the late 70s when Saddam Hussein came to power. By then, science was already my great passion in life, and as I studied it further, I saw myself fully part of the Western tradition, inspired by names like Newton and Einstein. But buried away was this nagging feeling that I was ignoring part of my own scientific heritage. I still remembered my school days in Iraq and being taught of a golden age of Islamic scholarship, that between the 9th and 12th centuries a great leap in scientific knowledge took place in Baghdad, Damascus, Cairo and Cordoba. So I want to unearth this buried history, to discover its great figures and to assess exactly what their contribution to science really was. Are there medieval Muslim scientists who should be spoken of in the same breath as Galileo or Newton or Einstein? And crucially, what is the relationship between science and Islam? My journey into the science of the medieval Islamic world will take me through Syria, Iran and North Africa. I started in the back streets of the Egyptian capital, Cairo, with the realization that the language of modern science still has many references to its Arabic roots. Take scientific terms like algebra, algorithm, alkali. I instantly recognize these words as Arabic. And these are at the very heart of what science does. There will be no modern mathematics or physics without algebra, no computers without algorithms, and no chemistry without alkalis. Surprisingly few people in the West today, even scientists, are aware of this medieval Islamic legacy. But it wasn't always so. From the 12th to the 17th century, European scholars regularly refer to early Islamic texts. I have here copies of some pages of the book Libera Baci by the great Italian mathematician Leonardo Pisano, otherwise known as Fibonacci. What's fascinating is that on page 406 is a reference to an older text called Modern Algebra et al-Muqabala, and in the margin Mahomet, which is the Latinized version of the Arabic name Muhammad. The person he's referring to is Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khawarizmi. In fact, Arabic names crop up in many medieval European texts on subjects as varied as map-making, optics,